Photography is a craft that requires consistent dedication, engagement, and learning. And although everyone takes photos for different reasons, it's common to get caught up in the motions of life and become complacent, empty, and no longer push the boundaries of one's own creativity. Your photography has become stagnant, and you may not have even noticed. And no, it's not because you're a bad photographer. No, it's also not because I'm trying to be mean or bring others down. This is me being completely objective and honest based on what has held me back in the past. Problem 1. You consume more than you create. In a world of digital and social media, it's easy to get lost in streams of endless content. People are posting on Instagram and YouTube every day, artists who are better than you and artists who are even younger than you. Similarly, the algorithm is better than ever, and you might find yourself scrolling on your phone for hours and hours every day without even realizing it. Therefore, it's actually very easy to not notice that we have become stagnant and we have stopped improving. Now, many try to justify their social media usage by saying it gets me inspired or helps me look at what other people are doing so that I can bring that into my own work. Here's the thing, you don't need to be spending hours and hours on social media to get inspired. You just don't. A great quote from Alex Hormozi is that action inspires motivation, not the other way around. Meaning that action does not require motivation and that doing something in the first place will actually incentivize you to do more. I find this very true in my case because it's often that I'll look back in the past and see what I've created, and that inspires me to create even more on top of that. So here's my trick to cutting out social media usage. I actually set a limiter on things like Instagram to only 15 minutes a day, and it works. I usually do this at the end of my day after I've done all my work, all my working out, all that stuff, and I'm kind of just vegging out. And then I'll just scroll through Instagram real quick for 15 minutes or so and then just be done with it. Most of the times now, however, I don't even use this 15 minutes of a day because it's become so habitual and so routine within my daily life that I don't actually find myself reaching or trying to open Instagram. When I need to post content, I just post and ghost. So the mantra to keep in mind is to create more than you consume. This idea has been with me for a very long time and it's extremely effective. The secret to improving is to make sure we're spending more time working on our own stuff than consuming someone else's stuff. For every hour we spend watching someone else's stuff, spend 2 working on yours. Preferably more than that, but you know what I mean. Problem number 2, you keep doing the same things. Even if we are able to create more than we consume, we can still find ourselves in a cycle of stagnation. This can result from just doing the same things over and over again. An example of this was my entire last year of photography. About a year ago, I found myself more immersed in street photography. I was going around places like Europe taking street photos and even taking street style photos at events like Coachella and stuff like that. And while that was great and all, and I enjoyed it all, I reached kind of a standstill where I eventually burned out with photography and YouTube. And I ended up going on a lot of walks, not in downtown areas, but in nature, and found myself taking a bunch of pictures of just clouds and sunsets. I found myself really enjoying that process. And so the me from a year ago would have been surprised, like, what are you doing? But I do think there is something inherently valuable in trying different things because I've been able to create things that I would have not ever imagined myself creating before. And so I think it all worked out because I can still go back and go on that journey of street photography and explore that area if I want to. But now I also have a new subset of photography that I also enjoy as well that allows me to have a different insight or perspective or view of what I'm creating currently. Now, as humans, routines are kind of essential. They're what allow us to keep going and do things on a daily basis without thinking too much about it. But the issue with this in creative work is that sometimes when we're experimenting and we're trying new things, we'll find something that actually works. And upon finding something that actually works, we'll try and replicate it and do it again because we want a similar result. But the issue with this is that when we continue to do that, we find ourselves doing and replicating that same thing over and over again, and we stop experimenting or trying new things. So we, in effect, have created this own box for ourselves based on what has worked for us in the past. To improve, you have to try new things, period. It's often in creative work that our greatest and most unique combinations of work come from trying different things out, from innovating, and it's in that unique combination that we end up making something we could not have ever imagined before. And so sometimes for creativity, it's more important to discard what we know and to try new things even if we don't think it's going to work out, because that's what will allow us to find something new and to learn something new and to improve. It requires even taking a step back such that we can take 3 steps or 5 steps forward. So the point is, if you find yourself deep in habits or routines Do something to break it. Try something new, try something different. You can always return to what worked for you later in the future, but don't allow what you have built and created to become your new cage. Create more than you consume and always try new things. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye.